Good morning, Horn Lake High School. Lewis here with Coach Eilert. Now, last Friday night, several of the coaches gave you the challenge of trying to throw a football pass. Was it a slant route? I think it was a slant route. Anyway, they were giving you a pretty hard time about throwing the football, although I would challenge some of them to see if they could throw any better.
Yes, that's true, but I've also ran 3 marathons. I don't know how many they have run, but I've run 3 marathons.
So Eilert says he's got 3 marathons on those coaches, and you actually gave the pass attempt, which I give it to you because I would not do any better throwing a football myself. But anyway, if there are any other teachers who'd like to rise to the occasion and the challenge to throw a football, we'll put it on EVTV. On the same subject, I got to watch several football games Saturday. You were busy doing papers.
Yeah, I was writing my final exam for New South history. Yeah.
So for those of you students who say you've got too much homework, Coach Eilert's not only giving homework, he's having to do homework because he's taking classes at the same time. I, however, was sitting on my back porch enjoying football. I decided to watch several football games. One of those games was the Ole Miss Kentucky game. And Azam Rose, at the very beginning of the game, if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about, he celebrated a bit too early. And so what I would tell people, if you have the luxury of playing football, whether that be the high school level or the college level, and you make a play like this and we give it to him, he runs straight through a whole bunch of defenders, but then he pieces the entire crowd and points, doing a little bit of celebration, and then gets taken down before he actually reaches the end zone. No doubt the coaches gave him a serious tongue lashing because you saw it on the sidelines. The coach was livid.
Most guys, I don't know much about football, most guys I think run through the end zone, and most guys like speed up when they get like toward the end zone. I remember D'Angelo Williams did that, Cam Newton did that. You know, a lot of guys run through the end zone and they speed up. This guy decided to slow down and give the peace sign, which I didn't know why. There wasn't a flag on that for taunting. But anyway, yeah.
Blows my mind. Dude is already like at the crowd. He points at someone, peace, he points, and he's not even there yet. He's got guys right on him. Like you would think he would be tucking the ball hard and boosting as much as he could. No doubt in practice today, he is going to be running more laps than everybody else.
Probably ladders or...
Eagle Vision TV.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Tuesday, October 6, 2020. I'm Kayla, and today's top story features another story segment. This week, we are featuring Coach Eilert. Tell us about your life growing up.
I grew up in East Memphis, between Ridgeway High School and White Station High School. And then when I was in the 5th grade, we moved to Germantown. So I grew up in Germantown, in that area.
Tell us about your family.
I have a sister, mother and father. Both my parents are educators. Both my mother's parents were educators. Her brother and his wife were educators. So basically education runs in my family, kind of like the mafia, and other families.
Tell us about your years in high school.
I went to German high school from 92 to 96. It was pretty interesting. It was a diverse high school. You had your preppies, your goth kids were kind of starting to come into the picture a little bit. You had some burnouts. kids like that. But Germantown back then was it was a really good high school back then. It's still a good high school now, but it's a really good high school back then.
What was a pivotal moment in your teenage years?
Yeah, when I went to high school, my freshman year in high school. How can I explain this? When you're in middle school, you know how like you line up to go places, and the teacher like lines you up and everything. In high school, they didn't do that. You know, they didn't. All right, go. There's your class. Go. So, the punishment was like double. Like you got a lot more freedom in high school, but the punishment was significantly doubled than what it was when you're in middle school. Like the littlest thing in high school, you got ISS for in German high school. So,
what jobs did you have in high school?
Worked at Kroger, sophomore and junior year, and I started working over at golf courses after that in the summertime, so I could play free golf and all that.
What's the funniest thing you can think of that happened to you in high school?
So Miss Clough taught English, and there was an alley that ran by her side of the school, and the teachers back then could go and smoke in the alley. So she would smoke, and she took cigarettes, and she took the filter off the cigarettes. It was just straight nicotine, straight tobacco. And she had a real deep voice. Yesterday we learned about Shakespeare. Today we're going to go over, we're getting the Romantic period and like that. And she made us write in pencil, and she graded in pencil. And so these two guys would flip a coin in my class. Whoever got tails first did the work. So these two guys one guy would do the work. Here you go, Miss Clough. I did the work. Oh, okay. And she'd rate 100, and then he'd erase his name and he'd give it to the guy. The other guy would write his name. Here you go, Miss Clough. I did the work. So that was pretty much it. I mean, like if you showed up in her class, you got an A. That's how easy she was. But I learned a lot of English, but she had a very deep voice, and she smoked, I think, about 3 packs a day back then.
Tell us about your college experience.
So I went to U of M. My grades were good for Auburn, but the tuition was really high back then. We couldn't afford it. And I looked at UT Martin, I looked at Arkansas State, but I just settled on Memphis, on U of M, and I walked on at U of M, and I think I got for cross country and track, I got my books paid later on in my school year. But college was an open experience. I mean, you had to read 20 pages a night, and you had books and 3 or 4 books per class in the history department, and I mean, they expected you to be on top of it.
How did you choose your future profession? Did you originally plan on being a teacher?
No, I actually wanted to be a sports writer. And then I had a professor for journalism that told me that the sports section is a section that she puts in her dog's kennel at night so he can poop on it. And so that kind of made me want to get out of being a sports writer and kind of get into, I really kind of want to be a lawyer, but there's a lot of lawyers in this world. Like there's a lot of sharks. And I decided to just go ahead and teach history.
What led you to become a teacher?
Like I said earlier, my parents were teachers. My mother's parents were teachers. My mother's grandfather was a teacher. I like it. High school is a social minefield, Kayla. I grew up watching like the Breakfast Club and Fast Times at Ridgemont High and things like that. So, and those movies are actually pretty accurate about high school and how you have your little cliques. And I just like high school. I just like it. I mean, I think it's probably it's more important in high school, these 4 years than in college, because these 4 years prepare you for college. And it's my opinion. So,
what's something outside of school that you're passionate about?
I like watching football. I like watching golf. I like watching sports. I like playing a lot of golf. It helps me. I'm terrible at it, but it helps me. It just gets outside and everything. And I don't know. I just like that. I like to fish. I'm trying to get into duck hunting. Things like that. So,
tell us something that you've always dreamed about doing, like something on your bucket list.
Going to the Final Four. I had a chance to go to the Final Four last year before the COVID virus, and they gave me a chance for tickets this year, or my money back. I chose tickets this year to the Final Four, and I am excited about going to the Final Four this year. I've been to the Masters a couple times in golf. I've been to the Cotton Bowl, which is a big ball game, but I've never before been to the Final Four. I've been to the regional, but never been to the Final Four, so I'm excited about going to the Final Four this year.
What's something students might not know about you?
It took years to build the confident a sort of person I am now. High school, I didn't blossom until my junior year of high school, I think, is when I started coming out of my shell. So it's not, high school's hard, but it's something that helps you build for later in life. And it took me a while to build in high school because I didn't really fit in anywhere until my junior year of high school.
What's something you love about Horn Lake High School?
I like how the teachers can cut up with each other. I like how the teachers kind of make jokingly, kind of give the teachers a hard time. I like how the administration kind of does it to certain teachers and to each other. And I don't know, it just makes me feel like it's not as cliquish as other schools I've taught at. So.
Tonight is senior night for the volleyball team. Come support your volleyball seniors. This week is homecoming as well. Friday night, we want everyone to come out and support our Eagles. Cheer tryouts start today through next Thursday. See Mrs. Bryant in room F10 for details. You must have a current sports physical and proof of insurance to sign up. Tryouts will be on October 15th at 3 p.m. The Voice of Democracy Patriotic Audio Essay is now open to students. The grand prize is $30,000 for students to use at the college of their choice. You can visit vfw.org for more information. Students, remember to social distance on the floor stickers when going through the lunch lines. Also, be sure to get everything you need on your first trip through the line. You are not allowed to return to the lunch line a second time. Also, remember that the vending machines do not have drinks in them. If you go up to a vending machine and put money in it, you will not get that money back. Students, you are responsible for providing your own mask. The school does not provide the mask for you. You must have a mask on to attend school. If you carry a bag, please keep an extra one in there. Students, please make sure you're wearing your mask correctly. Your counselors will be doing power lunches on Tuesdays. Look for their table set up in the comments during your lunch. Get your Power School logins, ACT fee waivers, college application fee waivers, and answer quick questions. You have to do this during lunch before you are dismissed. You are not able to do this on the way to class. That's it for today's episode. Here at Horn Lake, we are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.